Today I'm going to show you how to wire up your Cat 6 wall jacks for your home network. I'm going to go step by step through the process, show you a few tricks, and then also a few mistakes you want to avoid as well. Let's get into it. The tools you're going to need for this, mainly, obviously you'll need whatever Cat 5 cable or Cat 6 cable you're cutting. This is a Cat 6 cable, so I'm cutting Cat 6 cable. You'll need your jacks. You'll need your wall plate. The jacks actually snap in. These snap into the wall plate. So that's for your wall plate installation. You'll need some type of a stripper just to peel away the outer sheathing here. And this is the punch down tool. What this does is it'll actually punch the wire down into these slots, and use a little sharp point over here, and you punch it on the outside of these. It'll actually clip the wire off at the same time. You don't have to have one of these. Some packs actually come with a cheap punch down tool that'll push the wire down there. Either way, you can even push it down by hand if you wanted to. And then you'd have to clip the wires off the edge. So I did include wire clippers. You may or may not need those. You will need it obviously for cutting your Cat 6 wire, but also just for clipping little tiny wires here, and then just some scissors to cut the string that's inside of the cable as well. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first, we're going to strip this off. So I'm going to use the stripper tool. It's got an adjustment here, so I did adjust it to where I won't cut through the actual cable. So you just want to make sure you're not going to cut through the cable. Slide it over into there, and then just do a quick little spin around it. And that's split. All right, so now just set these pairs off. This is the string I was talking about that's in there. So there's no need for this. So you can use your scissors or whatever you got for this. Go ahead and cut that off, get that out of the way. And then we're going to pull our wires out. The colors on the wires all correspond with coloring inside the jack. And you'll see, obviously, you've got blue, solid blue, blue, white. Then you've got orange, white, orange. And the other side, you got brown, white, brown, green, and then green, white. Now there's A and B on these. B is pretty much this industry standard from everything I've read, so I'm going with B. As long as you wire them on the same, like if I wire this side of the cable as B and I wire the other side of the cable as B, it's going to be fine. If you did one A and one B, you'll have all kinds of issues as far as interference and stuff like that. So just make sure, no matter what, you're wiring whatever cable you're working with the exact same way that you wire the other side, and then however you wire the rest of your network. Since B is the most standard, I'm going with B. I did actually black out the A on here. These are so tiny when you're looking at these, and I just want to make sure that I don't glance down mistakenly and then punch in the wrong color. So I did just black out A's, so all I have is B's visible right there. You can see they're actually paired up. So blue and white, orange and white, green and white, brown and white are already paired up. So all you really want to do is push them out. What I do is actually use the outer ones, go to the very outside. So the very first ones I'm going to put in, brown and blue, are going to be the outside. And of course, all the connectors you'll buy, there's plenty of different connectors. All of them have the same color coding, but different patterns as far as how they set them in. But they all have their A or B labeled somewhere on there. So again, B is the most common, so that's what I went with here. And then I've got the green and white, which will go in this slot, and the orange and white, which will go down here. So that's the way I've got this set up. I'm going to go ahead and twist these just a little bit towards the top. Just instead of untwisting the entire wire, if you just twist a little bit up here, just enough to get them to go into position, then you don't really need to untwist the entire wire. So I untwisted those two. This one's got blue first and blue and white second. So I'm going to twist it and get the blue on the bottom. Separate them out just a little bit. And push them both down. Again, I'm just pushing them down just enough to hold them into place. I'll actually use the punch out tool later to finish them off. So I might put these two over here. I'll do the same with the brown. Again, really not worried about the end of these wires because this is all going to get cut off. So just untwisting a little bit towards the top. And this one's got brown and white first and then brown. So brown and white goes in first, and then brown. Just push those down. All right, so then this one is green and white. Same thing, just twisting them just enough to get those loose to where they can go through. So green is first. I'm going to twist it till I get the green. There's the green. Hard to get it to completely separate, but there's the green in there. And the green and white. Green and white, just push it down. And then the last one is the orange. And it's orange and white and then orange. So I'm just gonna get those to where I can get those into here. There's the orange, and there's the orange and white. And just push them down in place. All right, last part is the punch out tool. Again, remember, you can see there's the sharp side or the little pointy side. It's slightly longer. That's what's going to trim off the wire. That goes to the outside. So you don't want to obviously clip the good wires, which are, this is all our good wires here. So we're going to push this to the outside, and it will push everything all the way down, and it should clip off that wire. It's not going to in this case, apparently. Push them all the way down. It's supposed to clip it just enough to where it'll break off. So it did somewhat. Yeah. So worst case, just go back with wire clippers. Just clip them as close as you can. And that's it. You want as much of the sheathing, the cable sheathing inside here as you can get, so you can make sure that that's in there as much as you can. And then your last piece would be your dust cover to go over the top. I'm going to trim out some of these wires though, because they're still a little bit, it doesn't look like they'll be in the way. No, they're not going to be in the way, so we'll just snap it on. I say that, and apparently they are in the way. And now it's wired. And basically you can see it's got a locking side here. And then this is the part that's going to depress to snap in place. So when you're putting it in, push it in from one side. I always put this piece up under the lip and then just depress this side. And then it pops in place. And there it is, ready to go on your wall. Jack is ready to go. Just got to put it up on the wall and it's good to go. And again, I'm just going to wire the exact same jack the other way on the other side of this line. So that way they're all the same. Hit me up with any questions in the comments. Just remember, you got this. We'll see you on the next one.